It's February 22nd, 2024, and investors are going crazy. Why? Well, Nvidia just released their quarterly report. Their revenue up 265% from the previous year. How about their income? Up 769%. So Nvidia is just going absolutely crazy. That combined with the endless AI hype train increased Nvidia's stock by 16.4%, or adding $277 billion to their market cap in a single day. That's a lot of money. And there's a reason for that. Because they literally have the entire AI industry on their backs, all of the AI programs run on the thing Nvidia produces, GPUs. And it's not the ones in your laptop that let you play Fortnite. We're talking crazy powerful ones like the Nvidia H100. Let's see, a quick Google search and oh. So is Nvidia gonna take us into the age of AI taking all our jobs, or is another company gonna spring in? Is the future of Nvidia and AI intertwined? Well, you're just gonna have to continue watching. When ChatGPT was released, it was reportedly trained on 10,000 Nvidia GPUs. But GPUs weren't always used for this. They'd been in use in one way or another as early as the late 1970s, mostly for processing, you wouldn't guess it, graphics. So when Nvidia was founded in 1993, they just followed in the footsteps of other companies at that time. However, people soon realized that GPUs could be used for a lot more than just your average PC game. See, there's something different about GPUs. First, they have something called parallel processing. Essentially, that means they're really good at multitasking. The second thing they can do is scale up, meaning that you can just add more GPUs to increase your power. Also, thanks to an innovation by Nvidia, they are programmable. In 2001, Nvidia released the GeForce 3, which allowed people to write code for the GPU to make it run better. But then 2006 rolled around and the company came out with what's called CUDA. This was basically a more formal platform that allowed people to write software that could use the GPU's power more efficiently. Software like AI algorithms. But to see why GPUs and AI make the perfect couple, we need to look at how AI algorithms, also called neural networks, work. You know what else would make a perfect couple? You and that subscribe button. Okay, I'll stop. A neural network is made up of layers: the input layer, the hidden layers, and the output layer. These layers are then made up of a bunch of nodes, and data that gets fed into the AI passes through these until it eventually gets out on the other side. The nodes are essentially like mini decision makers that receive data coming in, process it, and then send it on its way. And if you remember, GPUs can process a bunch of equations at once, and so AI works really well on them. So since 2007, GPUs have been used more and more for AI. And the speed increase you can get with them as compared to regular computer processors is huge. A Stanford researcher processed an AI model 70 times faster on 3 GPUs than it could have been done on regular processors. And flash forward to now, and GPUs are needed more than ever. The ChatGPT that was first released had 175 billion parameters. Fast forward to now with GPT-4 and there's 1.7 trillion parameters. And so you're gonna need a ton of GPUs. And so GPT-4 costs $100 million to train. And it was estimated to be trained on 25,000 Nvidia GPUs. So this brings us to the modern day where Nvidia has been flying high. Their stock has quintupled since the release of ChatGPT. And after the release, Nvidia began to get a flood of requests for the chips. All of a sudden, they'd become the most important company in the AI sector. And so the new top H100 GPUs were rolling off the line, each weighing 370 pounds and costing around $25,000 to $40,000. And 500,000 of these were sold. The biggest customers included Microsoft, which owns OpenAI, and Meta. Now, the H100 has all of these crazy stats that I'm not going to get into, but it did process AI 4 times faster than the previous generation of chips did. And over the past 2 years, there's been a frenzy for these chips. It's like they've been turned into gold. It's gotten to the point where companies are using them as collateral for loans. Okay, but the H100 chip is so 2023. Now Nvidia has the H200. Word on the street is that these chips can generate output at twice the speed of the H100s. So that's cool, but then this happened. This is the keynote that Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang spoke at on March 18th, and he unveiled something stunning. You know the two chips, the H100 and 200? Well, those are part of Nvidia's Hopper GPU architecture. Huang introduced something called the Blackwell architecture, and the Blackwell GPUs are freaking powerful. A single chip will have 4 times the training performance as the H100, and it'll operate at 25 times the energy efficiency. What that means is it's really, really, really fast. And remember, the more powerful the GPU, the more powerful the AI. And many came away from this keynote saying that Nvidia has once again solidified their lead in the chip space, and they are clearly #1 for a while. But Nvidia isn't alone. There's tons of money on the table, and other chip makers want a piece of the pie. So where are they? Well, let's see. But how could other companies possibly be this far behind? Well, according to experts, it's 2 things. The first is their software. Remember when I mentioned CUDA earlier? Well, this software has allowed programs to use GPUs a lot more efficiently. The second is kind of looking at the whole company. Nvidia as a whole has always experimented, working with researchers and scientists to figure out how to do new things with GPUs. They create their own demand. And once competitors catch up, Nvidia's already off doing something else. But that's not to say their competition is non-existent. A bunch of companies, like the big ones, Meta, Google, and Microsoft, are starting to make their own chips in-house. They don't want to be too reliant on an external company to power their AI. But there's also another company, and that's Intel. They're going to be releasing their own chip that they say will rival Nvidia's H100. But we'll see. So, is the future of AI in the hands of Nvidia? Well, for the near future, it is. But because there is so much money to be made, other companies are eventually going to pose real threats. AMD is close on Nvidia's heels, and Intel could swoop in. But you know what you should swoop in on? The next video that's on your screen right now.